increased prices on everything, difficulty buying gas, difficulty buying computer. They've just shrugged and said, oh, it's just inflation. Well, it's not just inflation, Mr. Speaker. It is a focus that we have to have to continue to invest in Canadians.
Inflation goes sky high, and it's not done yet. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. Inflation numbers for March are out, and they are shocking. 6.7%. We haven't seen an inflation rate this high since the GST came into effect in January 1991. Yes, I said 1991. Back then, Madonna's Justify My Love was rocking the charts, and Home Alone, the first one, was the top movie on its first release. That tells you how long ago it was. Justin Trudeau was just a punk going between various university courses, not even thinking about graduating, let alone becoming prime minister.
I've never been affected by peer pressure, never.
And now he is prime minister and not thinking very much about inflation. The numbers have been getting worse for months. Yes, it's an international problem, but it's also a Canadian problem, driven in part by out-of-control government spending. If it wasn't something that the Canadian government or Canadian institutions could deal with, then the Bank of Canada wouldn't have just increased the interest rate in an attempt to tamp down on inflation. But they did. Let me tell you what some of the numbers are. 6.7% is the top inflation number. But if we're talking about gas, it's up 39%. If we're talking furniture, it's up 14%. Rent up 4.1%. Now, you can avoid a lot of those, not all of them, but you can't avoid shopping for food. And the price of food is up 8.7% over last year. That means that what you paid $100 for a year ago is going to cost you $108.70 on average. But some things are up even more. Let me highlight just some of what Stats Canada has to say. We're talking about butter up 16%, cheese 10.4%, fresh milk 7.7%, pasta up 17.8%, and cereal products, other than baby food, up 12.3%. Beef, chicken, pork products all up as well. This is an ongoing problem and one that the government has to get its head around. Part of that would be reining in government spending. They are flooding the market with money. They are driving up the cost of things through their own spending, and they are not taking responsibility for it. They're putting it off as just an issue they can't control. Rising inflation is partly driven by things like the war in Ukraine, through supply chain problems. Absolutely. That's the international component. There is a Canadian component as well, one that banks and economists have been warning about for months, and one that the Trudeau government doesn't want to talk about, doesn't want to think about, and doesn't want to deal with. In the meantime, your budget gets stretched and your ability to buy everyday items gets more difficult. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and subscribe to our channel.